Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Y'all, what was Gisele doing? What was Gisele doing? Y'all, this episode, forget the popcorn. We're getting some Casa del Sol because this was a lot. Y'all, we did a whole live on Monique and Chris, and we got Gisele making up this storyline about Chris. Y'all, that wasn't Robin. That's Gisele's friend, Erica Lyles, who, mind you, Gisele has lied and said Ray wants Erica Lyles when we all know Ray wants Katie. Y'all, it's too much. I'm trying to give you guys a live for Potomac. This might have to be a pre-record moving forward. They boil my blood. Y'all, we have been seeing each other all day today. And okay, so let's start with the Monique stuff, the behind the scenes stuff. So I did a live. The Jasmine brand and People magazine have reported that Monique and Chris were separated. Monique put out a Instagram with her husband showing her ring. Now, y'all, I did a video, check that video out, but Busy hit me up and it made a lot of sense. All this information gets released now during Bravocon when everybody else who's still a part of Bravo is getting all this publicity. Now, all of a sudden, your wedding is in trouble. And People magazine generally sources this information. So the fact that this wasn't sourced, I'm tired of them already. I'm tired of them. I said earlier that this might be something to drum up ratings for their new show. It just gives me cry for attention. Oh, you're talking about Robin's dance moves on the floor. I have no idea what Robin was doing. But I don't think that, stripper type, sexy, feminine dancing is Robin's thing. I think Robin likes, power tools and to go to Home Depot. I just don't see that being her thing. Y'all can put in the comments. Y'all can tell me what you think if you believe, but we sourced it. We did this story, and then all of a sudden, who knows? So y'all can check both those videos out. I'm in Monique overload. She's not on the show. Let's move on. Let's move on to the actual show. Mia starts the show talking about the fact that she actually believes that she has lymphoma. Now, I told you guys last week, I was really upset that Gisele would do that, like extremely upset that Gisele would do that. Or what is this, cancer? No cancer. It's lowbrow. It's trashy. And if the girl does have cancer, why does she need to tell you or explain any of her moves on social media to you, Gisele, of all people? It really got on my nerves. So Mia is trying to defend herself. What I found interesting about this scene, though, guys, is her friend Jacqueline. Now, Jacqueline is an interesting character because Mia just released video footage of this girl physically assaulting her husband and saying she takes a stand against domestic violence. So this is your best friend since high school, and what had to happen for her to turn on you? Now, I'm not saying that Mia does not have what she says she has or is going through all this process, but could it be later on down the line, Jacqueline betrays her and maybe exposes something about that Mia doesn't want to know? Because right now she's riding hard for it. Nobody even knows who this girl is. She's chiming into a scene like she is a cast member. Wendy even has to say, not to be rude, but who are you? I don't know. Jacqueline is a pretty lady. I don't know what she's given. She gave more than a Scala or a Scale. I think it's a Scala. She gave more than her in this scene. Gisele decides that she's going to throw everybody under the bus. She names everybody who had an issue with what Mia did in the press. She names everybody. And so it's kind of like, Gisele, stand on this on your own. If for some reason you feel like you need to say these things, then you should have the balls to stand up on your own. I hate when Robin plays follow the leader with Gisele. Raise your hand if you had questions. Robin, why you just don't look like the smartest, because this woman just put out all your business about wine. She does what she always does. She chips away at people's relationships. She just made you look stupid, and you were standing there in solidarity with this woman. What did Gisele get out of saying that Robin was not going to have Juan's name on that house? She made it seem like it was for something other than what it actually was. And we'll get into that. But Robin, you look dumb. Uh, Robin, again, is now protecting Gisele. I don't get it. Y'all can put in the comments if you understand that type of friendship. But I feel like Gisele is really at fault for this one. And Robin is just playing follow the leader. Oh, yeah, definitely. Help me by liking the video. I don't know where we're at. I have not kept track of this video, but guys, definitely like the video. It helps my channel. It lets people know that we're live. We have really put some content in today, y'all. We have really put in the work today. Okay. So Robin just looks dumb. She looks beautiful, but she just looks dumb. I don't know. I want her to get out of the circumference of Gisele's ass. I really want her out of Gisele's. Just come out for some air, Robin. You might have even had a better story arc if you just were not Gisele's sidekick. Charisse pops in, and I want to point this out, guys. With Charisse being there and Karen not wanting to be around her, it is the exact same thing that Gisele is doing to Wendy. If I do not film with you, and if I don't give you any life or any air, then you're not going to stay on this show long. The difference is, why is Karen able to forgive Gisele for all of her accusations, but not Charisse? And I think it's because Charisse's accusation might have been true. And Karen can't get over that because it took her a while to recover from that. Imagine if all those times that her husband is saying, I don't know if I'm in love with you, was as a result of Charisse exposing that relationship that Karen allegedly had with some other man. Just a thought. But they're really trying to ice out Wendy and Charisse, and it doesn't make any sense because none of these girls. Katie's the star. Let's move on to Katie, the star, the real star of the show. Now, Katie has decided to come in. She has a new shaved head, new look, and she wants to get her a piece. Hold on, let me move this comment. But yeah, do what he said, guys. Like the video. About blue eyes. Exactly. Katie has decided to accost Ray. Now, y'all, this is not me being funny. What if this man had on some type of like adult diaper? Don't you think that would have been embarrassing to this man for her to be feeling all up on it? Just saying. Just saying. Things happen. And Katie, what are you doing? I love you to death, but your time there would have been better suited getting into the mess, getting into the gossip, and making a way for you to get back on the show, like a path to get back on the show, like Charisse. See, Charisse stirs up the drama, stirs up the pot, and that's why she's coming back. I need that from you, Katie. But other than that, Ashley and Candiace decide that they're going to meet up. They're going to give it a go at it of being friends again. I'm really here for that. But I don't know if somebody had wrote a character statement against me for my sworn enemy, I don't know that we could really get back on cool terms. I would definitely wouldn't want you in my house. But for some reason, they repel each other and then they attract each other. So more power to it. Karen gives a speech that the Grand Dame is back. I really and truly believe that Karen believes that this is her show. I'm going to need more of some storylines from you if this is your show, Karen. I like you, Karen. But I'm gonna need more than some plastic surgery storylines to make you the queen of the show. I like you, Karen, but I'm gonna need a little bit more, Mama. I'm gonna need a little bit more. Ray is a man. He liked the diaper and all. I'm not saying he had a diaper scent. I'm just saying, what if the man had a diaper? You never know. You fill it up on somebody else's husband, Katie. You feel it. You might squeeze something you don't want to squeeze. Gisele says something about having a springtime party in a Mexican restaurant, as if to say there's something wrong with that. What does that even mean? Oh, thanks, just simply. Where are we on likes? We got about 80 people in here. Definitely get the likes up, guys. Definitely. Let's try to get to at least 40 or 50 likes. Okay, so we're moving this along. I don't understand. Y'all can tell me if you understand that read. Why are you having a springtime party in a Mexican restaurant? Do Mexican people not celebrate spring? I could be wrong. Y'all tell me, but it sounded stupid. And like we're accustomed to hearing Gisele say stupid things. Yeah, I didn't get that either. Okay. I mean, meanwhile, she's wearing like a blonde skunk on her head. Like back. We got Candiace's sister. She has decided to move in. Candiace's sister is an interesting character, y'all. Like, she's a pretty interesting character. She's cute, but she doesn't speak like Candiace, and they grew up in the same house. Candiace speaks like Dorothy. Her sister has a different kind of maybe a southern drawl. It's very weird in the way, typically when people grow up in the same house, they kind of speak alike, like Cardi B and her sister. Hennessy, EJ, Brandy. I don't know what her name is, but you know what I'm talking about. That was weird. The sister's buying a house, good for her. Ashley has a visit from a play date. Guys, I'm not gonna give Ashley too much energy. She keeps talking about the divorce. It kind of is coming off like a storyline. I swear that picture of her looks like an ostrich. That wig annoys me something serious. Whose wig? Hers or Katie? Who y'all talking about? Or Karen? Either way, I love that. If I ever interview with Karen, I'm gonna have to let her know I use that picture. I'm not buying the storyline. To me, am I the only one? Her friend kind of looked like Mia. There was something about her friend's face that kind of looked like Mia, but I'm not buying the storyline, y'all. And y'all can let me know if you are. It just feels like Ashley doesn't have too much else going on. She's still living in the house with him. Let's get to this $2 million house, or house in the twos. Do you guys think that Ashley needs a house in the twos? Like, you have this show, but we don't know how long this show is gonna last. Prior to meeting Michael, she was a bartender. She has really jumped into this lifestyle. Not saying, God forbid something should go on with Michael. His riches get split amongst all of his children. That man has adult children. I feel like Ashley is trying to keep up with the Joneses. And if she's really getting divorced from the millionaire, I don't know if that's smart. But y'all, we've seen it many times. I already did the exposés on all the married to medicine women in their houses. We move on to Ashley's TikToks. I can tell you guys, unless you are getting like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 million, TikTok doesn't pay. So for her to be like, this is her passion and this is what makes her happy, how old are you? Like, what if Ashley's like 1, 2, 8 count? Like, it's given very much high school cheerleader. It's like her singing voice, her single. It's not giving what's supposed to be gave. So do better, Ashley. Do something else with your life other than TikTok video. Your storyline is really I'm divorcing, but I'm still living with him. Um, I'm divorcing. I spend my time if I'm not with my boys doing TikTok videos. It's just not that interesting. We get to Gisele and her special friend Robin having a sit down, and Robin is pissed with Gisele, as she should be, for exposing the fact that Juan is not going to be on the house with her. Like I was telling you guys earlier, it doesn't even make sense. None of that makes sense. Gisele literally wanted to prove a point, so she threw her friend under the bus. She had to have known that this girl was not putting her husband's name on the deed because she didn't trust him, because he cheated, or because they went broke at some point. That doesn't even make sense, y'all. Like it does not. One plus one does not equal two with Gisele. Gisele is the most evil, hateful woman on this franchise. And what's weird is that she's so hateful, but she's still Andy's darling. He's still giving her boring ass shows and stuff. Like this woman is willing to throw her understudy, Robin, completely under the bus for no reason. And when Robin explained why Juan was not part of the house or having his name on the house, that made absolute sense. They have horrible credit because of the bankruptcy and because of the foreclosure. And Juan took that on the chin. So, and Robin lost all of the family's money. The fact that they are still together, still trying to make it work, and Gisele throws that kind of stuff out there means that she will slit anybody's throat on this show. And Robin should try to see that before it's too late, before she really messes up your relationship and your marriage. I caught Gisele smiling, which you may not know about algebra, but you know 1 + 1 = 2. Come on, Beyonce. Y'all, this Casa del Sol tequila is getting me where I need to go. And helping me through the stress that this show and Monique has caused me today. It just didn't make sense. Now we're getting to Gisele's delivery being effed up. It was completely effed up what she did to Mia, but it's even more effed up what she's about to do to Candiace and her husband. Completely messed up. So we have Candiace now talking about Chris DMing her. Now, I have been to the park at 14th in DC. It's actually a really cool venue. It's like 4 stories, lots of different VIP areas. And when it gets packed, it's insane. It's like a really dope spot. She was at the park at 14th with her friend. Chris DMs her, and it makes perfect sense why he DMs her. Chris probably got his job and was able to parlay his spot on this show into getting that job. So it would only make sense that he would be able to try to pull housewives in because everything is on Instagram now. Having the housewife Instagram that they're at the W bar or whatever type of restaurant that they're at, that would look good. That would make sense. Should he run these things by Candiace first? Absolutely. Absolutely. But is it the worst thing? Is he trying to cheat or get with Ashley? No, I don't think he's trying to get with Ashley or Gisele. So when Ashley relays the story, she takes a little bit more care than Gisele does. She is at least giving him somewhat of the benefit of the doubt, but saying it's a little weird to her because she didn't even know about the W. I thought that when Gisele released this stuff about Chris, it was going to be a similar story. We move back to Robin and Gisele talking about it. And Gisele is now saying that Chris makes her uncomfortable. And we get to see a flashback of Chris being kind of drunk at the reunion last year, upset with his wife, and Gisele interjects, thereby putting herself in the discussion. So Chris says he wants to talk to her. So they go talk in Gisele's green room, which she later says is a bedroom. That doesn't even make sense to me. That unless they did not have an actual studio and they were in some type of hotel, and the girls were getting dressed and ready in the hotel. That's the only thing that I could think of. I cannot give Gisele the benefit of the doubt of this one, because just because she's pretty, does that mean everybody wants you? Just because y'all are having a conversation. He didn't make a move on her. He didn't say anything inappropriate. So what is it, Gisele? Even Robin, her understudy, doesn't understand what Gisele is getting at for this particular thing. Like, where are we going with this? You know Chris, you like Chris. We spend time with Chris. Robin said, girl, you're on your own. Exactly. Like, you're reaching for a storyline, but you have Ray wanted Erica Lyles. You talked about Michael like a dog. Now it's Candiace's turn. Like, what sanctity of marriage do you work to protect? She even was trying to give Robin tips on how to keep a man. And as far as we know, Robin doesn't need them because Robin has kept her man, whether they're married or not. Gisele, you have issues keeping a man. I really don't like that. Gisele infuriates me. I don't think that she's a great character on this show. I think that a great character in the show has business of their own and gets in everybody's business. She never has business of her own. But y'all can put in the chat. Y'all, I mean, anything is possible. Men are men, but I don't think that Chris did this. I don't think that Chris did this at all. Gisele, blah, blah, blah. So she also said that he's a sneaky link and that he's been in her DMs. If somebody DMs you, there's a difference between DMing with your friend and saying that somebody slid into my DMs. That's a big difference. And then calling this man a sneaky link, have you known him to be a cheater? You got with a cheater twice, and you didn't have all these different, like, it just... Gisele is the worst. I'm just going to leave it at that. Gisele is the absolute worst. And the way she kept talking to Robin about wine, you know, some might say that you want wine. Gisele, you ever thought about that? Let me put my banner up because she sounds like the type that would sue me. Robin is definitely having Chris's back, and I'm here for it. Robin is a very practical, masculine cast member. She's not really with the BS. Now, the BS that she does come with is being all up Gisele's ass. But other than that, she just is like, you know, Robin is just one of the guys. We'll just say that. Robin is just one of the guys. We move on to Karen and Ray talking about... We move on to Karen and Ray talking about her plastic surgery. Y'all, I don't care. Karen looks absolutely great. She looks beautiful. She actually looks younger now than she did when she got married. In all honesty, she looks great. Karen has come a long way from how we met her. More power to her, but I don't care about your plastic surgery. You like it, I love it. Point blank, period, the end. Gordon and Mia meet up. Again, Mia with her friend. We can now see that Mia is trying to get her friend Jacqueline on the show. Like I said earlier, I think that Jacqueline must have exposed some stuff or gotten close to people on the show that she didn't want. Similar to what Sheree did on Beverly Hills, kind of like backstabbing Garcelle, liking Diana's tweet. I think that Jacqueline must have done something really horrible to this woman for her to expose that video of Jacqueline putting her paws on her husband and then saying, I'm against domestic violence. So this is your best friend. Y'all been friends since high school. They may have stripped together. Who knows? But it's weird that you are exposing her after not even one full season of being... The show hadn't even premiered really when you exposed your alleged best friend. So I don't know about that. Again, they talk about what Gisele has done to her. I forgot. Gisele sent me a text message saying, you know, it went left and kind of like, can we talk? Not an apology, but it went left. And I may have misspoken. So they're talking about that. Basically, Mia is deciding not to respond to Gisele. She really doesn't care. What was weird about this scene was hearing Mia talk about her business. Now knowing that $400,000 salary and whatever position she had in the business is over, that was weird to me. Like, you came on being the boss and now you have nobody to boss. Like, They're talking about opening up another clinic. If you were that integral to the business succeeding, they never would have removed you from it. So maybe you were just an expense that the business didn't need. I highly doubt that her husband has been removed all the way from the business or is not going to be getting dividends from the business, but that was super weird and super interesting to see her still talk about the business. Just saying. Ashley and Candiace talk about her husband. Now, I think Ashley did the right thing, especially considering that when Candiace heard information about Ashley's husband, she relayed that information to Ashley. So I'm here for that. Definitely, I'm here for her telling her and Candiace receiving it in the manner that it was given. It didn't feel messy. It did not feel heavy. Hey, this is what happened. I really didn't know what it was. I'm telling you, they're not close anyway. So it's kind of like an eye for eye. You told me about your husband. I told you about mine. It evens out. We get to Ashley's TikTok party / strip tease kind of thing. So you're a stripping, TikToking mother of two reality star. I don't get it. This makes no sense, just like that kangaroo meat she used to serve at her restaurant. But they're at the party. Charisse comes in and lets them know that Karen is avoiding her. Karen now says she has 102 fever. And my first thing is if somebody tells me they got a fever of 102 and I've been around it all up in your face, I'm going to need to know if I need to go get tested. So it is a little bit weird that you would say that, because the natural question in present day is, well, do you have, the panini? So I kind of believe that Karen is just avoiding Charisse, and I don't like when a cast member decides I'm going to try to ice out another cast member. So I hope that Charisse really does get in Karen's face. I'm not going to go through. Robin looked a mess. Most of the girls look kind of crazy. Ashley's body looked amazing. Ashley does like yoga stuff on the side. She looked beautiful. Gisele grills Ashley about her business and what she's doing with Michael. Now, this is how someone who is producing the show behaves on the show. They try to get as much storyline as possible. We now know that you're doing that, Gisele. That is not entertaining to the people. Asking somebody the same question. We've only had 2 episodes, and now we've had about 5 to 6 sit-downs about Ashley's marriage, and Ashley's still living with Michael. We know all the information now. We don't need that anymore. It's a waste of time. It is filler at this point unless something new happens or transpires. To be honest, Ashley has paid her dues. Ashley went through 3 years of Michael touching and groping men, and that was her scandal. Ashley has paid her dues. Let the woman go. Let her move on. We get to Candiace. Now, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link. Anybody's welcome to come up. We get to the Candiace and Gisele conversation. Now, that was interesting because Candiace doesn't even know what's going on. I just don't feel like if Gisele had felt uncomfortable, then Gisele would have said it after the reunion. Gisele had as much time in the world to discuss with Candiace on her own, hey, this is what happened between me and your husband, and I wasn't comfortable with it. Moving forward, I don't want to be alone in rooms with him. But you could see Gisele's wheels spinning as soon as Robin mentioned what happened to Ashley. Gisele started saying, I don't have a storyline. Let me go ahead and make this my storyline. Even Robin, her understudy, was not with it. That should tell you, Gisele, nobody wants this. This is not what you need to do. There is no reason that this one evil, lonely shrew of a woman needs to continuously try to break up people. What's up, y'all? Y'all are on mute, both of you guys. So the conversation definitely takes a turn because Candiace is sitting listening to Gisele basically try to dismantle her marriage, and she sees I have Ashley talking about it yesterday, And now I have Gisele talking about it today. At this point, she knows, just like any regular viewer, now you are the target. My husband is the target. You are trying to dismantle my relationship, and I thought we were decently cool. But what she didn't realize is she then just threw her understudy Robin under the bus. So you definitely know that she's gonna throw you under the bus. Can't like what makes you more special than Robin? Robin has been her special friend since day one. They sleep together in the same bed on cast trips. I'm not saying anything out. Y'all know what I mean. So Candiace has decided to break the fourth wall, and they never let people break the fourth wall the way Candiace did. Candiace went directly to the producer of the show, who, mind you, I hit up today. I'll see if he responds. I didn't realize that he was like one of my social media friends. And she actually talks to him, mentions the show. The producer has to get on camera. They hate doing that. And now we have a real beef. Where are you guys at?
I just wanted to say, I know in your last video, your subscriber video, how you said I don't come up here. So I just want to come up here for a second, then I'm gonna get off. But all I want to say is this: Candiace is a fool. I love Candiace, but you a fool. And this is why. Gisele was coming at you 2, maybe 3 seasons ago. And she got Monique to come at you. And when Monique took the bait and put her hands on you, she shifted targets to get Monique off because she truly couldn't stand her. Last season, she didn't come at you because it was her versus Wendy. So now that all that's cleared up, she's coming back at you. And I don't know why you even thought that she wasn't.
I have no idea why anybody thinks Gisele is her friend.
That's it.
She's just hateful and lonely.
Yeah, she's awful.
I mean, not that Monique is any better at this point, because I think Monique fed that story to us. I think she spoon-fed it to us. And Busy said it the best. It was to get the attention off of the women at Bravocon.
I feel that maybe Carlos played a role too. It's awful.
Oh, somebody's echoing.
All right, well, look, I'm going to go back in the chat.
Well, good. Yakratis has a channel. He gives like really dope introspective. Check it out. Somebody can put his channel in the chat. He's a really dope content creator. He does the Whether You Like It or Not panel. What's up, Norris? What's up, Prosperity? Are you Black Jesus?
No, that's Mel, since they act like Mel is Jesus and she's more powerful than anybody on earth.
Oh, okay. Where are you guys at, Norris and Prosperity?
I'm in Michigan.
I mean, with the show.
On the story.
The show.
Oh, you want me to answer first? I was gonna read some of them real quick.
Go for it, Norris.
Gisele, to me, she's a knockoff Vanessa Williams with a turkey neck.
Ooh.
With a gizzard neck.
The shade.
And then Robin, you know, she's like her lapdog. She's like her bottom B. You know, she don't have a personality of her own. So
that's her puppet.
Yep, she's a follower. She's like you said, she's her puppet master. So it's like she pulls her strings. And, you know, Mia, she's like plastic surgery gone wrong. To me, she looks older than 36 or in her 30s. She looked like she's close to 50.
Did she go the Wendy route? Because that's how I felt about Wendy's second season.
Wendy looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, Wendy looks better now, but in the beginning of last season.
I mean, she, you know, the hairline to her eyelash was a little off.
That's a Jermaine Jackson.
It was a little off, but I think Wendy, she grew up. You know, everybody's first season is a little tough. Then those Bravo checks start rolling in, and you know, Wendy pulled it. Wendy is like one of the prettiest cast members to me.
Yeah,
she is.
Continue with your reads, Norris.
Oh, I was gonna say Wendy. She got rid of them. She fits those edges, so that's a good thing. Them first season, so she fits that. And I'm glad her plastic surgery worked out for her. And the good thing, she stopped talking about them 4 degrees.
Oh, yes.
She brought them to Bravocon. Did you see?
No.
She did?
She brought her 4 degrees to Bravocon, and they were on display. So Charisse,
Oh my
stop talking about
goodness. Oh, she's so much.
Well,
Keep on with your reads, Norris. We're here.
It's better for her to show him there instead of talking about it. I mean, at least she was about it instead of just talking about it. But the bad thing is she not even using it. Don't seem like she using them degrees at all. She just got them for show.
No, we saw in this episode she was giving commentary about the first Black Supreme Court justice. She uses her degrees. Now, what you got against Wendy, Norris?
Now, I don't dislike her, but it's like I mean, I think she better now. But that first season, she was like,
she's too uppity.
Yeah, she was like extra. Read all about it. She was just. Then she sided with Candiace or picked a side too quick. She ain't try to see both sides of the situation. I know she had to have Candiace's side, but I'm talking about the rest of them. Just like Gizzard Neck Gisele and Lapdog Robin and Ashley. Ashley. I'm glad she getting rid of Freddy Krueger looking Michael. Looking self. He looked just like Freddy Krueger. I mean, he creepy and he a predator. To me,
Michael is stale milk.
Yeah, spoiled milk. Rotten. He's a spoiled rotten cookie in my book, and he should never take his clothes off again. He should keep his clothes on unless he off camera.
We don't not the visuals.
We don't need to see that.
No visuals.
So, Norris, let me ask you this really quick. So, where did you fall on the Mia and Gisele fight? Did you think it was appropriate for Gisele to ask Mia about her cancer in the way that she did?
No, that ain't her business. If she really cared about her, she would have pulled her to the side and, asked her off camera or at least called her or something like that off camera. She just need a storyline, so she willing to target anybody for it because she can't keep a man. Her stuff probably too dry to even keep a man. Her moves are dry. She tried to shake her behind. She got all that behind back there and don't know how to work it, just like she don't know how to work herself into a relationship.
That's true.
So Norris has a channel, guys, where he just reads the hell out of people.
And that's the name, too. My name on the screen, too.
So definitely check out Norris. Prosperity, where are you at with this episode?
Did y'all hear when Ashley said he hasn't cheated lately? I was like, girl, he hasn't cheated enough for you? What do you mean lately? That's dumb.
Oh, I thought you said Ashley cheated. I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, girl, just say you want to live. You want this man money to buy your house. You don't owe them people no goddamn excuse. What are you doing? You're making yourself look crazier than you already do. Gisele and this, why would you allow, if you were so uncomfortable, once you realized that nobody was in there with y'all, why did you keep allowing him to go all the way in your room? Why you ain't take it down to the bar or somewhere where people were?
That's a good point. Now, Prosperity Thick Girl, what really got me was there's a way that people lie, right? And one way that some people feel that their lie is made more believable is if they throw somebody else in there. So you threw Cal, which is her. Okay, so y'all, we don't trust Cal because we see how Cal has her looking. Gisele has had the same makeup artist and wig person since the beginning, and he has never done her right. The fact that you are using Cal as your defense as to why you felt uncomfortable, there wouldn't need to be a mention of anybody else, if you know what I mean. It would just be, your husband made me uncomfortable. This is what happened. To sit there and say that Cal said it means that you have gone around spreading this information. So it's a complete ambush on Candiace. Just saying. And Candiace's husband, people may not like Candiace, but nobody really has an issue with Chris because Chris is harmless.
Exactly. He has been nothing but, he has bent over backwards to accommodate and to be around these women. That is ridiculous.
Michael's the one that bends over backwards, not.
Well, I mean, he bends over just a little bit to get them their plates. Like, Gisele, what are you
likes
doing?
Swan more.
Like, this is ridiculous. If I was Candiace, I wouldn't have went to found no damn producer or nothing else. I would have cussed her out so bad. She would have never said nothing about nobody else's husband, their wife, their children, their mamas, or nobody. Because this is beyond ridiculous. And anytime Roberto doesn't go along with just Gizzard neck, we know it's a problem. We know it's not true. We know it's a whole lie.
Now, you know Robin has been really feminine this season. Don't call her Roberto. Don't do that.
I don't know what she been feminine at.
Robin has been very feminine this season. That's a very soft look on Robin. Don't do that.
And other things too.
Hold on one second. Miss D Green, where are you at on the episode?
Hi. I was here for Candiace pulling the Arya Stark on Gisele with the not today and the producers, because you know how I feel about marriage. No, we're not going to do this season. You're not going to malign my husband so you can drive ratings. So hopefully it's put to a close end in the beginning of the season. I hope that's like, we may get a little more, but I hope that's as far as the extent goes, because it's ridiculous. Like, the formula is outdated. And
it's bad.
I don't think we see that anymore. And I was like sitting there, I was like, how can Robin sit there and allow Gisele to question Ashley the way that she was, given the fact that she has returned to Jamal, and Robin didn't like when she was being questioned by Ashley in season 2 with her situation with Juan. So I was like, okay, Robin, can you speak up? Can you like ask Gisele, like, well, why do you care?
Robin's a limp noodle. That's the problem.
Yeah, they need some new formula. Like, I'm like, oh God, if this is what we're gonna get, I might not watch Potomac as much. And this is why I like Karen, because
right? It like gets your blood pressure.
And this is why I like Karen being on the show, because she counterbalances Gisele's foolishness. Like, she's got her own foolishness, but she doesn't act like Gisele. Like, she doesn't get you as frustrated as Gisele. And she drops sometimes. If you listen to her, she might be quirky, but she has those like those one-liner jewels.
Mims, the picture.
I'm sorry, I was agreeing with Missy Green. I like her.
Yeah, that's why I like her being there, because she's good for, putting Gisele on her face. Because I'm just like,
honestly, that's the only reason why I like Gisele on the show, because Karen puts her in her place. That's really it.
Karen has come a long way. Okay, Miss D Green, you are a married woman.
Yes, sir.
Really quick. Now, Katie is my all-time favorite, but what would you have done if Katie had done this to your husband?
It depends on how friendly Katie and I are, but my husband wouldn't allow that. He knows better.
I love Katie. Katie is one of my favorite, and I will stand true. That is Michael Gay comment in the back of that Sprinter van with Ashley after she had that butter knife thrown at her is one of the all-time best moments of reality television history. But I just wanted to see what a married woman had to say. What were you saying, Prosperity?
Why would Gisele, excuse me.
Did he freeze?
Last week she said, people don't move in a house if they get in a divorce. Didn't Juan and Robin, weren't they divorced and living in the house together for how many years? Like, Gisele, do you even listen to yourself when you talk?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that Ashley needs a $2 million house, though? Or in the twos? Do you think she needs that kind of house?
No.
She might not need it, but she deserves it.
No, why does she
maybe a mill. Maybe a mill.
All that he took her through, and how he got her dragged in these Twitter streets and YouTube streets and all the streets all over the world from his behavior.
I mean, technically, she was a bartender before she met. Like, this is the thing. We've talked about this before. I like a city girl. I like a woman who is in control of her own everything, her own sexuality, all that. And I like a girl who puts it out there. You know what I mean? I married a multimillionaire. These are the expectations. But Ashley acts like that's not the case. You know what I mean? Oh, no, I love Michael. And, he wants to have threesomes and I don't. I mean, everything that she puts out there, I just don't feel is authentic as it relates to her relationship. Just give us the real. You were a bartender. You saw this man who owned part of a hotel and he lifted you up. He is, in my eyes, probably a gay bisexual man living undercover.
Yes.
And this made him look good because Ashley is also a beauty queen. She was Miss DC. It was a mutually beneficial agreement, not a real relationship. And just say that. You know what I mean? And now if you get a $2 million house, you done got the bag. I like Carisha. Y'all don't know Carisha is a city girl. She's dating Diddy. He buys her $300,000-$400,000 cars.
The devil.
And she says, this is my man. I'm just having fun. This is daddy, and he's giving me money. Kim Zolciak, first season. Thank you, Papa. You know, you get what I'm saying?
It's more like, thank you, Papa. That's how it was.
You get what I'm saying, though, right? Like,
I hear you, but I don't think she would want to do that because, one, it's in bad taste. It makes herself and Michael look bad. And if I'm not mistaken, I think she kind of alluded to it in earlier seasons when she said, because he used to own, or he was part owner of L2 in DC, and that's where she worked. And she said that she used to watch him on the camera when he would come in because she worked there, and she knew that was going to be her husband.
Oh, wait. Okay, so that is an exact, like a direct correlation to Erica Jane. Erica Jane said she just gave this story about how her husband would come into the restaurant that she worked at, and, you know, they fell in love and all this. That was her boss. She knew that man was part owner of that restaurant. That's also why he ate there every day. So to know that Ashley knew that Michael was part owner at like, just say it. I married for money.
She has, but Ashley is slick. Like I see her.
Isn't Ashley an OG?
You can't trust nobody with a forehead like that.
Yeah, I'm not mad at her for getting her money up, but what I am mad at her for is letting her mama come on with them baby head bangs. That's what I'm mad for. And she didn't shave her mustache.
Oh no, shave
and then she got Uncle Lump over there sitting with his titties milking with no bra. And then her step aunt over there looking like the ladies from Death Becomes Her. Like, I'm like, what is going on at this table right now?
Prosperity's killing me.
Kelly, help us out. Kelly, we've taken a left. Where are you at on this episode?
Okay, for me, I'm kind of over Ashley. I never actually really liked Ashley, but I feel like this season, even last season, we just kind of see that it was definitely just like a business thing.
Mm-hmm. I hear you with that. Were you a Ashley fan prior to that season though?
Never. Not really from the start, because I thought it was weird, and I think all throughout all of the seasons, the way that Michael acted, and that she just kind of turned a blind eye to because it was her paycheck, it was really gross, and the way he disrespected and belittled the women on the show, and I'm pretty sure we all felt that it was because he was a white male, he felt superior to them, and she just kind of sided with it because, hey, that's her paycheck, and I feel like when people are saying, oh, shout out to her for getting to the bag, getting to the money, it's kind of gross to me to have 2 children with someone you don't really love just so you can have money. Like,
it's disgusting.
Yeah, it really is. And nobody wins. Like, she doesn't win because you sat here and we're in a relationship with someone that you're not in love with. Then you had 2 kids with this guy. Like, what about the kids? The money doesn't really ever matter when your dad is a douchebag. Or you're not going to have a close relationship with him because he's like 80 years older than you.
Oh, Lord.
Well, she got a point, though. It's like,
they look just like him.
Family, people, where are the family values?
I don't mind a good May-December relationship. It just put it out there. All the stuff, oh, he cheated on me. And all the cheating and everything that he did was because you only cared about the money. And you could say that. It says, thank you so much, Tim Media. It says, nobody has a real storyline this season, but it's episode 2, so we'll see. They're coming out hot with this whole trying to make Chris look like he's making all the women uncomfortable and hitting on everybody. Thank you so much for supporting my channel.
But do we believe that? Because I don't believe it.
I don't
either.
Nobody does. Gisele don't even believe it.
Well, let me jump in and say about the episode. Do you notice that Kyle also, being an OG, she plays sort of this producer on the show? I feel that at least with Kyle, it's less obvious than Gisele, for instance.
Are you watching the same show?
Well, yeah.
That woman is obviously a producer on the show.
They should just take her out and put her on the credits because that's what she's giving me right now.
Which one, Gisele or
Gisele? Gisele. No, because at least Kyle has a life. You know, I can't say the same for Gisele.
I don't know if she has a loving husband, but okay.
No, that is a different subject.
I was gonna say congrats on 10K subscribers.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Norris. Oh, and guys, Norris has a channel. Norris Tony, check him out. He does a lot of reading. He'll probably read the Potomac Girls on his channel too.
Yeah, I feel good being on here tonight, you know, because I lost my grandmother.
Oh, sorry about that.
You lost your grandmother?
Yeah, he lost his.
Hold on, there's a lot of noise. I think
prosperity.
I'm gonna go ahead and mute you really quick. Unmute when you want to talk. Perfect. I'm so sorry, Norris. You lost her recently?
Yeah, on the 1st.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
So yeah, she was 92. So I took care of her for 4 years.
I remember hearing you say that you were her caretaker.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Norris.
Yeah, that's okay. I take care of my uncle now. So
is our shade helping you?
Yeah,
is that what you were saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Norris. I'm really sorry. You guys put some hearts in the chat for Norris. He definitely, upended his life and became a caretaker for his grandmother. I didn't realize it was for 4 years.
Yeah, because I quit my job at the hospital and focused on her. So.
Okay, so where are we at? So do we all agree that Candiace did the right thing, breaking the fourth wall and refusing to film with Gisele in that moment?
I say yeah. I mean, at least Candiace has an interesting life, unlike Gisele.
Agreed.
Yeah, she probably next time if she bring it up, she should rip her to shreds with her words, with her reads.
But I'll
Candiace
say
is
I
not
don't.
stopping. Yeah. I posted Candiace's Instagram story from like a few days ago, and she was laying into Gisele. She called her a "see you next Tuesday." She questioned. She questioned what she was showing to her daughters. Like, how do you behave like this about everybody's marriage? Like, she went in on Gisele. That's why I had to repost the whole Instagram live, and it was given insight into the fact that they are going to probably fight all season long.
Good.
Well, hopefully she doesn't.
Good.
Hopefully she doesn't put herself on pause.
Gisele needs like good competition though. Like she has nobody to really go against her. Her and Karen, they have so much history that we always know they're going to mend fences. And I feel like everybody else who she didn't like, Gisele has been able to get rid of. So it's good to see Gisele have somebody who she can scrap with.
They better make her film with Wendy. I don't have a problem with the professor. Oh,
I love Wendy.
Somebody is about to punch me in the throat.
Oh,
hey,
no,
Kobe.
I love Wendy. I think Wendy is awesome. I am very fascinated by her. I celebrate Black excellence. I love that she's educated. I love that she continued to pursue her education even after she was married with children, because that is not easy. And I just love what she's doing. I've always said, like, when I see people comment on her stuff, I'd rather see someone bragging about their degrees and their accomplishments than bags and all that other stuff. Because I think that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, she's great.
Colby. Now, y'all, Colby heard us say Gisele, and he came knocking.
No.
What's up, Colby? Where you at?
I'm going to be sure to mute, too.
I'm going to mute myself.
Well, if you say her name 3 times, I'm popping up. So, but at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm just okay. So, first of all, I have to say to the panel and to everybody, what happened to believe all women? What happened, everybody? Because that was what I've been hearing for the past 5 years. I've seen some very suspect cases that have accused of many famous men, Chris Brown, Trey Songz, many. And these cases have all fallen apart. And those women got the benefit of the doubt. 20 unseen TI women who got the benefit of the doubt, even though we didn't even see them. We just knowing that someone's made an accusation was enough for some people to believe it. But when it comes to Gisele, for some reason, she's not getting that same benefit of the doubt. I find that to be quite suspect. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying I agree with believe all women, but it looks like it's been applying. And all of a sudden, when Gisele says it appears to be a problem. Now, another thing I want to say is that all the Gisele hate, it gets old. I mean, the woman is absolutely, I mean, she's a striking woman. We all know it. And I think a lot of times because some of our favorites might not be on that level, we want to make them feel good and empower them by taking shots at Gisele. But it doesn't matter how many shots they're taking at Gisele, she's still going to be what she is. And lastly, I'd like to say that, what happens a lot of times is when beautiful women, or even just regular women, when average or below dudes try to get at them, they feel
Regular women.
uncomfortable. They get uncomfortable. So, you know what I mean? Chris is not the most successful dude, so she's not looking at him with admiration. And he looks like Duck Dynasty. So at the end of the day, yeah, your compliments and all that might get at a certain female and make her feel uncomfortable because she's not attracted to you. Let's keep it real.
But
Ugly
he didn't
dudes cannot
compliment
do.
Gisele. You
Well, I'm just saying,
Colby,
even
he
the
didn't
energy.
compliment Gisele. Your girl did not say he said or did anything to make her uncomfortable. It was just
But
they were in a room together alone when he spoke. Gisele, out of her mouth, did not say he did anything that would typically make some. There was no touch. There was no inappropriate comments. So that's
but it
why we
doesn't
don't
take that.
believe Gisele.
Okay, so let
Okay.
me say this. Okay, Mims, I
So,
worked in HR for years. I worked in
okay.
human resources. So
Mhm.
I was responsible for listening to these cases all day and every day for years. And having that sort of background, it doesn't even take someone making a comment. Certain females will feel uncomfortable because you were staring at them. You made them feel uncomfortable with your presence because you are distasteful to them. Now, another guy that they're attracted to can be all in their face, showing them how to do this, flexing in front of them. They're laughing all on his shoulder. But let somebody that's tore up or jacked up try to do the same thing, they get offended and they don't feel the same way. They feel uncomfortable, and that's just the way that it is. That's in HR. I've seen some guys, innocent guys, who are like, I would never do this. Like, I had a guy in our office crying one day because he was married and he was accused of harassment. And he was like, I would never, I have children. Like, I would never do this. I need this job. But some woman felt, you a little too friendly to me.
I
And you
agree with
making them
that.
feel. So
I
I've dealt with that. That was my job. So
so
it
do you
doesn't even take a comment or a compliment, your presence, leering, the way you look at me. Women talk about how they feel when they're in the office.
Okay, so
How
do you really believe, Colby, do you really believe that Ray, Karen's husband, wanted Erica Lyles? Do you
nah.
believe that?
No,
Okay,
he
so
might be attracted to her.
hold on. You said nah. She just threw that out. The woman throws things out like that, and I am fully with you. I've read the statistics on survivors. I am one of those people that says believe women because so
Right.
many things happen to women and they don't get reported, and or they do get reported and they don't believe, or it gets brushed under the rug because the man is powerful. I am one of those people, but I also go based on your track record. And if you have a track record of saying and doing things to try to break up other people's relationships and marriages, then I side eye you. With this season, even Robin is saying, I don't think that what he did was wrong. You're sitting there saying, he didn't touch me, he didn't say anything inappropriate. I just have a feeling because, married men have come on to me before. But you're not saying that he said anything that would make you feel like he came on to you. It was just the fact that y'all were alone in the room and we saw the clip. You interjected yourself. The man is having issues at the reunion with his wife and you interjected. So then he's like, well, can I talk to you? So he's venting about his wife. You're taking that and saying he don't even like her. He don't like her. Like, what are you doing? Like a friend would say, okay, let me calm the situation down. Come on, let's talk. If she didn't want to be in a room with him alone, then it's very easy to say, come on, let's go out in the hallway and have this conversation. Not, I'm alone with this man in a bedroom. Okay, well, what did the man do? Well, he didn't say nothing. No. Well, did he touch you? No. Like, you had full control of that. He didn't lock the door behind him, but she didn't bring this to this woman who's her friend right after it happened, or even over the summer or before filming started. She brought it to the show. And that's why we do not believe Gisele, Colby.
Okay, I'm not saying that Chris really had intentions of doing what she may have thought she's saying that he wanted. I don't think he did. I personally don't. And I've even said on this show before, I may have said Chris is average, but I've also stated that I do feel that he loves his wife. I believe he's committed to
You're
his wife.
forcing me to drink, Colby.
And he wants her to be, you know what I'm saying? I always felt that way. But at the same time, I mean, could there be, a little bit of a miscommunication here? Yes, but that does happen all the time. Again, okay, for example, Robin and Gisele have two different temperaments. If you remember what happened in the van last year with G and how he was getting a little fresh and all this sort of stuff.
Ooh, girl, you look so good.
Exactly, licking his tongue and all this stuff. Now, Gisele, who has a very regular, I would say, temperament, she was offended. Robin was not. Do you remember Robin was like, I liked him. I liked him flirting with me. He still made me feel good about myself. Remember Robin said that about G? Now, he was licking his tongue and all sorts of stuff. Now, Robin was cool with it. Gisele was not. So a lot of times, just because two women are best friends, they may have two totally different temperaments when it comes to behavior regarding men. So I'm not saying that Chris done anything inappropriate. She just could have read it that way. And women do have the right to feel any sort of way they want to when they feel uncomfortable. Just like when Crystal felt violated, the word she used. You know what I mean? A lot of times women feel uncomfortable, men feel uncomfortable. Like for me, like I said, I agreed with Crystal with the word violated because I felt violated over the simplest things as a man. Like, have you ever been in the bathroom? And for me, I know this is disgusting, but I'm gonna go there. I'm in the bathroom, I'm about to do a number 2, and someone comes into the bathroom and the door is unlocked. I flip out. I slam the door so quick I forget to lock the door. You feel violated because you're sitting there with your pants at your knees, and there's something so intimate about that.
But she used a dark comment too. That was the problem.
We have taken a turn, but I feel violated when people don't courtesy flush. So I'm different. I'm a different kind of person. Okay, Kobe. Okay. Oh, you're gone, Norris?
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for coming up, Norris. I always appreciate your read, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Have a good one.
Have a good day.
I need Escrow Marty to come up and defend his girl Monique at some point. I'm gonna drop the link, Marty. I need you to defend her lies. Continue, Colby, because I'm sure Miss D Green has a rebuttal.
Well, all I wanted to say is because I noticed when you take up for Gisele, and I'm all about when we have our favorites, we have our favorites. But I want you to remember my avatar if you can, because when I'm ever speaking on Gisele, it's nothing against her looks. I don't even comment on things pertaining to looks. Never have, never will. So if I'm speaking on her, it's not because she may look better than someone that I support on the cast. She's a beautiful woman, but that's not what drives my opinion of her. It's the things that she does, like Mem so eloquently said earlier. Okay?
I got it.
Gotcha.
And you're a confident woman, and I feel that all the time when you speak. So I never think your comments are coming from that place. I
know, but because I listened last week and you said that, and then the response was different from the girls. I even commented that because you got into a debate with one of the panelists that I like, and I was like, oh my God, John, like back off, like let Kobe, say his thing or whatever. Because I understood part of what you were saying, but you did bring that up a couple of times, and that's not always the case when we speak on each other. Like, yeah, this cast has some beautiful women, but trust me, I don't think when people are commenting on Gisele, it's because she's pretty.
So you don't say things about her features, but a lot of people are talking about her features all the time. She's old, her neck. They're always trying to make her look like a witch, or she's like, it's always descriptive. It's never just about her personality. It's the green-eyed bandit, or she's horrible, or she looks old, or even they waited for her to age. If remember when Gisele had told Ray, this will never crack. They waited for her to crack and brought it up 4 years later. It was like, remember when you said and they had the pictures of her before and after. Like, people are waiting to take cracks at her. So when she actually does hit the wall, it's going to be horrible for her, because certain people do mention that over and over. And I'm like, okay, the woman's probably been dealing with this since she's been 15 years old. Now she's in her 50s and she's still dealing with women coming at her physically. And
I
and
think
that's
that's
what,
a good point, Colby. I think that's a
Yeah,
good
so is
point.
the curse of being a gorgeous woman. That's what happens. But
However, when somebody is an a-hole about their money, I think the general consensus is people can't wait until they don't have money. If somebody is ever present, oh, I'm so beautiful, and when she came on, she was like, I'm dating, I'm having sex, I'm doing this, I'm the hottest one walking. Whenever you can be attractive, but typically when you just talk about how attractive you are, it turns people off. The only person who I have ever seen talk about themselves in first person, how beautiful they are, and people embrace it, is Ion from Dubai. But just about across the board, anybody else who talks about how attractive they are as a person, people root for them to no longer be attractive. I think that's just human nature.
that's true. I agree. I really agree with
now,
that.
Colby, I have a question for you because I'm glad that you are like a Gisele supporter, because then I can ask you some questions and maybe you can help me
Thank God she
understand
has
how she
one.
operates. But yeah, so how do you feel about Gisele? She's a woman of God, right? I'm going to assume she's a woman of God. How do you feel about her attacking the institution of marriage as harshly as she does? Like,
Well, I think that, okay, so that's a totally valid point. She does do that, but at the same time, I think that hurt people do hurt people, and I'm not just saying that to say that. And I'm going to explain a little more. For example, when she was married, when she was the first lady, they didn't let her have that. Those other women in the congregation or whatever, they didn't look at that black family and say, okay, that's a man, that's a husband, he's got three daughters, and he has a little nuclear family, and they didn't mind getting in between her marriage and ruining her marriage over and over, woman after woman. Looked at her, cared less, still slept with her man. Look at her in church and look at her in the front pew and had no problem. So I think after that happens to you over and over again, and then celebrities even going out with your husband and your ex-husband, and they all being seen with him like that has to hit her self-esteem. That might make her not even believe in the institution. And then when we look at people on the cast, such as Michael, he proves her right. Even though, like I said, I love Ashley and all that, but there's people on there, their situation proves her theory to be true. And again, when she got with Sherman, her Monique attacked that relationship. So, and then when she tried to get back with the pastor, like, let me do this. Then they brought up the rumors again. And then she's now getting persecuted for his actions. So you stupid if you get with them, and you lonely and a loser if you don't, if you're by yourself. So she's almost in a situation to where I mean, she can't win for losing. So I understand what you're saying. That's traditional. She should be supporting marriage. She should be more supportive of the ladies on the cast, even if they are having marriage issues. That I agree with you 100%. She's definitely lost her first lady glow on that level.
She
But
could
I'm
win for
just saying,
losing, Colby. She could
I'm
win
just
for
saying she's
losing.
been disrespected multiple times by women. And to be in the church and have women of God sleeping with your husband, that might over and over again, and then sit in church like you're a Christian and sing in the choir and all that. That has to hurt. That has to sting. So maybe she don't believe in the institution the same way as she used to.
I think that there are two different types of people. There are the people who experience something and decide, I don't believe in it, I hate this, I'll try to tear it down. And then there are the other people who say, because I experienced it, I'm going to treasure it and I'm going to appreciate it when I see it in other people, and I'm going to try to build it up because I still have faith. From what you describe, Gisele is one of those hateful, bitter people who let what happened to her kind of like seep into her subconscious, and she subconsciously or not oozes that out and tries to hurt other people's marriage. She could, let me tell you how Gisele could have turned this around, because there's always a way. Not Black Love Wins. This must be Cromartie. There's always a way. I knew it was Cromartie. there's always a way on these shows to make a bad situation good for you. And the first thing you could do is she could have came on the show and been like the first lady. She could have been the one that they all went to when they had problems. She could have gave them good advice, counseling, and really tried to uplift them. That's not what Gisele wanted to be. Gisele wanted to come in and kind of be the vixen. She played that up very early in the first season, and she was very beautiful. She was, I think, probably arguably the most beautiful one on the cast when she first came on. And then enters Monique, who is also beautiful and rich. And then as soon as this woman, scene one, she enters it and the claws are out. Oh, you don't have a house? Well, technically, Gisele, you didn't have a house either because you were renting.
She had a dusty house.
She has a barn. She doesn't even have a house now.
Like, Kobe, I know you know what I'm talking about. She set herself up for failure because that whole vixen thing, that was never Gisele's shtick. It never should have been. It worked for Kenya because Kenya is that. That's not Gisele. She messed herself up from day one. But I need to hear from Crow Marty. I summoned him.
Yes, for what?
Your girl lied. I think that your girl set us up for the okie doke and released that information to People Magazine, and it was to get people's attention off of Bravocon and all the celebrities still doing something since her show flopped hard on OWN.
Oh.
Well, the girls are crafty.
So you admit she's crafty?
The girls are crafty.
Okay, so for you guys who don't know, Crow Marty,
do you think she's getting separated? Do you think
as
she's
Colby
really
is
separated?
to Gisele? So I got
I don't believe it.
Gisele and Monique stand on either side.
Now Monique has made some decisions. Now we can say that she's made some decisions. So I'm not all that, Team Monique. But
you're backpedaling.
Oh, my bad.
Team Monique, you could be loyal.
I think I don't think there's a divorce. I think if there was, I think she should take the kids, take all the money, and find a man who can actually look at his, when he looks down. I think that's what she needs.
Take all his money?
What did Chris do to you?
Oh no,
that's shady.
Just keeping it a buck.
So you think that Monique potentially lied? Because there's no way that story came out. People sources their information. When Busy called me after I released my second video on it, he was like, you do see what's going on. Bravocon is a big hit this year, probably bigger than it's ever been. They're all over Instagram. Whatever it is, they're big. And you got Candiace performing, doing her songs, all these people. And where is Monique on a show that failed? I think Love and Marriage Huntsville, DC had views of 200,000. It was really low.
It?
250 maybe tops.
That's low.
And she was not the star of the show.
Yes, she was not.
So So when you did your live, everybody was saying how Monique needed to be more submissive and all that. It was coming for her. And then now
I don't believe that.
And now when it's kind of the news isn't that it's false, right? Now you think she did it herself to make her more like a Sunday topic?
Well, if your show is failing and you need to promote whatever brand that you have, and now you're trending.
But wouldn't she would do that when the show was airing? Ain't the show? It's been how many weeks since the show stopped airing?
I wouldn't know because nobody watched it.
I wouldn't know.
I don't remember.
Now she's trending. Okay, so we called Crow Marty up here to be a subject matter expert on Monique, and he has failed her. Colby at least came up with some good, plausible stuff with Gisele. You have
Monique
failed.
Is not Portia. It's a difference.
It's hard to defend it.
What's the difference?
Those two are friends. What's the difference?
No, Portia's legendary. That's one.
What?
Top 5 housewife, top 3 housewife, top 2 housewife if you want to go there. But
I need some Pepto-Bismol now.
No.
Now, in terms of glow up, Portia is top 5. I'll give her that. Portia was a different person. She's a different person when she started season 5, and then when she came back season 7, and just like the way she started carrying herself on the show. Like I'll give her that because she changed. Her and Kenya changed the tone of Housewives when they joined season 5. So I'll give her that.
Y'all, we have almost 200 people in here. And we only have like 100 some likes. Please hit the like button. It definitely pushes my channel, and I would appreciate it. It's a free way to support the channel while we listen to Cromartie, Devin.
So, you really think she just decided just to on a fresh Sunday? Let's just say we got divorced, Chris. You think that's what she did?
Yeah.
I think that
sounds like
somebody had to. People Magazine sourced it. They're not just gonna. It's not. People Magazine is not a blog, right? Like blogs can say anything and do everything. When you get like a People Magazine, they are sourcing it, and they sourced it through a few people. Then she planted a seed with Ashley by saying, "Oh, I'm in such dire straits. You know, my marriage is having issues." So Ashley went to Bravocon and said that, and then people released this story, and then she comes back.
I believe it now.
Here it is. Ashley told the panel at Bravocon that she recently had lunch with Monique. Ashley Darby says Monique told her last week she is separated from Chris despite Monique's denial on social media.
Ashley is so messy.
Oh no.
Ashley is so messy.
Well, Monique is messy too.
Yeah, but you don't. Who announces somebody else's separation like that?
That's Ashley. She has a junkyard for a mouth.
Oh, Doja Cougar.
Well, she does look really pretty here, though.
Monique knows that, so she clearly told Ashley because she.
Mims, talk about Ashley's forehead again.
No, Ashley looks beautiful. I joke, but Ashley is a very gorgeous woman. I can just like her. I can say whatever she wants, but that woman is Miss DC, and she's very gorgeous, very calculating, very beautiful, very hateful.
Calculated.
All those things. She's everything. Kai, jump in, because help me out. I'm between Colby and Cromartie. I don't even know what's happening.
Mims is trapped.
The only reason to help she's a liar because she has nothing else going on for her life because she wished to be a rapper and couldn't do that. So that's one point.
What?
Ooh, the shade.
Oh, the shade is the truth.
Not a shitty rapper in a Durango.
She met Chris in her truck wanting to be Hazel.
Who's
Did
Hazel?
she not?
Oh, her rapper name. I'm sorry. Her rapper name, right? Okay.
Yes. So, and she couldn't do that. So she became a separate life. But that can only go on for so long.
So I guess we don't have many Monique fans.
No, I truly believe that this was a scheme that talks that up. Because it's so very strange that you have a lunch with Ashley. It's all of a sudden Bravocon. She makes that cryptic message, and then all of a sudden there's an announcement.
I think what Min said was right. Maybe she's doing this to get back on Bravo.
But
I don't know.
I don't think she can, though.
What'd you say?
Because
I was say I'm happy to hear that Monique is not getting divorced because at the end of the day, I do like Monique. She's a beautiful woman, very gorgeous, and I want her to.
What else do you like about her?
I like.
Oh no.
Okay.
That looks like
one thing I like about her is that she's very, very strategic and tactful. Because the way that
too much, man.
She came at Gisele, but the way that she handled Gisele and attacked her over and over again for insulting her one time.
After she put hands on someone else. Anyway, Monique got on the show thinking that she would be the star, and she ended up spending most of the time in Africa, coming back, and everyone else had enough going on, pretending like she's supposed to be this kumbaya sister girl, and she is not that. She wants to be a little top dog mean girl, and she just does not have that star quality. And she thought she would get that on her own. Bravo doesn't have her back because she talks too much about the producers. She literally did an interview saying that on Real Housewives, they were telling her to make drama in her marriage because it was too perfect. Then she goes on Love and Marriage. All of a sudden, she's had all these issues for years. Which one is it? It's always a producer's fault. They always don't see all of her. They always X, Y, and Z. So I don't really think Bravo wants to go back to that because even a lot of the women have talked about how they've been able to film seasons and nothing has been leaked. Because when she was there, things were being leaked.
I don't know. I mean, they kept Robin. Is she more entertaining than Monique?
Monique was too thirsty though. Like she didn't. I feel like she was just too thirsty for that fame.
Well, I don't want Monique to end up like Larsa or Fallon. You know, you leave a billionaire and then you end up looking bad at the end of the day within 12 months. So at the end of the day, I don't want Monique to go out like Larsa or Fallon. I want her to stay with her rich husband and be successful and age with grace and money and generational wealth.
I'm with that too. Protect the Black family.
The same.
I mean, I hope for the kids' sake that this was all a hoax. I said it earlier. I hope that, they have very young children. I hope that it was a joke. But for me, it just makes me care even less. And it's not, if it was for the show, purposes of the show, I don't think that's going to help the show. This is it. Mark my words. If Love and Marriage Huntsville or Love and Marriage DC happens and we see that there's a storyline where they're potentially getting a divorce, then we will know. We can look back to this day and say 10/16/2022, we called it, that this was all for a storyline and nobody cares.
Oh, Nene and Greg did the same thing. Nene and Greg did the same thing,
but they did it better. We still cared about Nene at that point. Nene, at that point, they were still getting ratings of almost...
did the cancer thing better than Mia?
Who?
Kenya.
Kenya didn't do a cancer thing better.
She did.
What do you...
She did.
You mean Kim?
No,
Kenya.
Kenya did. Check it out on now.
When?
Kenya had an actual scare.
Wasn't that in season 5?
She walked us through that with her. And like with Nene, you felt the emotions. That was some real stuff. Like, I don't think that was orchestrated.
The white man?
No, with Nene and Greg splitting up, like I saw the pain. I saw like the breakdown happening and I could understand. And it's like we walked through. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying like the stuff she was talking about, like the lack of communication and then the betrayal and then that conversation, because it wasn't an interview, I guess, but that conversation with that radio host and everything he said, like I could see that. I could see like the breakdown and then when they were apart, them realizing what they missed and then coming back together, because they were together 16 years and they had that history. And it's not so easy to just throw that away. Some people still respect marriage.
So okay, Kai and Crow Marty, did you guys believe what Gisele was saying about Chris? Where do you all stand on that?
It's Gisele. Come on. No.
I agree there.
The story didn't make any sense. You guys are friends. Sorry, I've been like cleaning up some little breath. You guys are friends. You had no problem inviting him to your space to give a hug. You have no problem with him cooking for you, doing all this kind of stuff for you. That's how friendly they were. He asked to speak to you in private, which means there is an assumption that you would be alone. It's not his fault that your makeup people weren't there when you were expecting them to be there. All it would have taken was, hey, Chris, I thought like my people would be in here to make up someone else.
That was just the scares, though. That wasn't
the same shit Mia was pulling.
And then for you to turn around and say he didn't do anything, he didn't say anything, it was just uncomfortable. Even though you've been in this man's presence all the time and you have individual interactions with him that do not include his wife. That don't make no sense. And as everyone else said, you waited 5 months for this. And also, let's not forget, like the last reunion that Michael Darby was on, Gisele was sticking up for him. So I would be too, like, you don't get to turn around and start sticking up for Michael Darby, grabbing behind himself, and then come for my husband when you actually have a rapport with him and you guys are friends.
There you go. I think that's a good place to.
When she talks, I can't refute nothing she says. So if Kai said it, it's probably right.
Kai KO'd the panel.
Because you don't catch it all, or because she's so solid? Because she speaks fast.
Oh no, I catch it.
When I talk fast, always let me know if I talk a little too fast for that point. It doesn't
she's
make any
runner
sense.
with the tongue, but I can hear everything she's saying.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, my mom's Jamaican, and somehow I speak faster than she does. But I even felt Candiace in that moment. The way that she turned to the camera, I was like, are we really doing this? And how she's like, that man would take off a jacket for you to walk over a puddle. He cooks for you. Like, no, but to me, that speaks to how Candiace, even though they have their arguments, it speaks to me of how Candiace knows he can be a gentleman. So that's why I thought that really threw Candiace for a loop of like, I know my husband's a gentleman, and I also see him be a gentleman towards you. And for you to go do this, and it seems like it has no care because we're at a dance pole class, sitting down, we're supposed to be having a good time, and you come to me with this?
Well, y'all, I think that this is a pretty good stopping point. I'm interested to see what goes on next week. Guys, let's at least, before we all get out of here, try to hit at least 150 likes. I spoke to a really big YouTuber, and they told me that that's where it is at. I need to be letting people know to like the video. It really helps me with YouTube specifically. So I made this. Y'all can tell me what you think about it.
I can't.
Big moves. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things in your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things in your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
I thought that was so funny because
it started off good.
You see two people with rhythm, and then when Gisele comes up,
oh, you ain't got to do it.
Oh,
y'all wrong.
Did you think that little ditty that she was doing was where was that, Colby?
No. I mean, she doesn't have any rhythm. I mean, keep it real. But the two faces was just so stunning to where I wasn't even looking at the moves. The faces
my God, Chloe, really? But to keep it real, Mia and Candiace, they killed it. They really killed it. Like they did a way better job. Like by 10 times over.
That was Erica Lyles. The other one is it was Mia and Candiace, and then Gisele and Erica Lyles, the one that she said that Ray was willing to leave Karen for.
What's the context behind the Mia and Candiace joint?
They're at Bravocon. There's like this box where they can kind of like play around.
When did they become friends, though?
I don't think they become friends. I mean, your coworkers at a job function. You don't need to like cause any like rough house if you don't need to.
And even though Mia needs the job now.
Yeah.
You twerk with somebody who threw salad at you though?
That's hard.
I don't really know about tossing salads. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Hit the like button on your way out. I will play it again. I will see you guys live again on Wednesday for the Beverly Hills reunion.
I can't wait.
Y'all, they got 100. I mean
1.4 million. Yeah.
Like
that was a lot.
They definitely have outpaced RHOA. So I might do another video on whether or not I think Lisa Rinna is going to get fired because my ideas are changing.
She brings in too much. We got to keep her.
I think they're going to keep her. But I'm going to do a video about that probably and drop it tomorrow. We're in this with Colby's girl.
They'll keep Lisa Rinna.
Just fire Dorit.
Yeah, we don't need that.
And Erica. But we're going to leave with Colby's girl dancing real step. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things in your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it.